Welcome to the Fearful Fright series, where we will be reading with our favorite green ghoul, Grimmer. Now sit back and enjoy this twisted tale. Today our story is called Pulling Weeds. You might not know me, but my name is Ashley Grant. And once again I'm sitting in detention. You see, we were told to write a report about what we did over summer vacation. Well, you see, I did exactly that. The problem is no one believes me, including my teacher. In fact, my teacher hated my story so much. I ended up here in detention for a week. Miss Agnes told the principal I was being disruptive in class, refused to do my assignment, and that I was full of it. But if she knew what I knew, she would have given me an A+. You see, every summer I always go to the country to spend time with my grandmother and grandfather. While my parents go on a cruise ship vacation, I always liked going to the country, seeing my grandparents, playing with the animals, and just getting to be there with all that nature. My older cousin Amber lived next door too, so there was always something to do out there. Well, one night, while staying at my grandparents', me and my cousin decided it would be fun to go cow tipping. Betsy was an old cow that my grandfather loved like a daughter. Well, long story short, Betsy didn't get back up. My grandfather was furious with both of us. And needless to say, we were doing chores all summer. We were cleaning out stalls, loading the loft full of hay, cutting the grass and anything else they could find. One day my grandfather told us we had to pull all the weeds out of the horse pen. They were about 5 feet high, and was taking over most of the horse pen. We were told to make a big pile, and use the wheelbarrow to toss them out in the woods when we were done. As we got the last of the weeds pulled, we started to load up the wheelbarrow. When we started to unload the wheelbarrows, we noticed the stench the weeds were starting to let off. Grose, my cousin Amber said, that almost smells as bad as the stalls. I'm not sure what kind of weeds they were, but they were pretty awful smelling, I'll admit. As we started loading the rest of the weeds up into the wheelbarrow, our grandparents came outside and said, "Hey, we'll be running to the store. We'll be back in about 2 hours. Finish taking care of the weeds. Then you can go inside for supper. It's in the oven when you guys are done." "Okay, thanks," we both said. So my 2 grandparents left. My cousin's mom and dad were taking her little brother to his first rodeo show. So me and my cousin were both alone on our grandparents' farm. "Hey," Amber said, "what do you say we take a break? Grandma and Grandpa won't be back for about 2 hours. And my parents won't be back till tonight. What do you say we ride the horses for a bit?" Now I wanted to get the work done, really I did. But my older cousin Amber always knew just how to talk me into getting in trouble. But I had to admit, after all the work we had to do all summer, it would be fun to ride some horses. Or anything for that matter. "Okay," I said to Amber. "Just as long as we finish the work before they get back." "It's a deal," she said. "Besides, we'll have this done in no time. I guarantee it." So we both got each of our favorite horses from the stalls, threw on a saddle, and began to ride through the old trails our grandparents had in their backwoods. "Hey, Ashley, I bet you can't beat me to the creek," Amber said. And I'm not one to turn down a challenge. So we started racing each other, making our horses go faster and faster. As we were making our way towards the creek with my cousin Amber being in the lead, a fox ran out of the bushes, scaring the horse my cousin was riding, knocking her off the horse. "I think I broke my arm," Amber screamed. Her horse began running off. "Are you all right?" I asked her. "I don't know," she replied. "But I know we're not going to be if that horse doesn't come back." "Yeah, no kidding," I replied. "And we still have work to do." "And now your arm is broke. You sure know how to make a bad situation worse," I told my cousin Amber. "I know, I'm sorry," she said sarcastically. "But let's play the blame game later. Let's find that horse and get back so I can wrap my arm up. Okay, get on, I told her, as she got on the back of my horse. We began riding in the direction the horse took off in. And there it was again, that putrid smell. Just like the smell of those nasty weeds we had both been pulling all day. Gross, said my cousin Amber. I can't stand that smell. Let's hurry up and find him, and get out of here. Eventually we came to a small opening in the woods. Look, I told my cousin. There it is. But something was wrong with the horse. It was laying on its side. As we walked towards the horse to get a better look, we could see the horse lying stiff, eyes wide open. As stiff as a board. What the heck happened, my cousin said. She felt for a pulse. Nothing. But there were no signs of injury. It looked as if it's been scared to death. What could have happened, Amber said. We have to get back. And let Grandma and Grandpa know what's going on. So we started heading back through the woods. As we did, we noticed something in the distance. Keeping up speed with the horse. Just 30 feet away. What's that, I yelled. I don't know, my cousin Amber said with fear in her voice. Just keep going. We forced our horse to go faster and faster. But still the thing that was 30 feet away managed to keep up. As soon as we made it back to our grandparents' yard, we ran to the door, unlocked it, and ran inside. And tried to call our grandparents. And wouldn't you know it, my forgetful grandparents left their cell phones on the table. Let's call the cops, I suggested. And tell them what my cousin said. We don't even know what's out there. Yeah, you're right, we should at least get a description of what it is first. So me and my cousin peeked through the blinds. As we did, we could see a huge creature that looked like a bunch of weeds tangled up in a pile. But it had arms and legs and even a face. It was standing over the weed pile that we were supposed to be picking up. Grabbing large handfuls of it. Bringing it closer to what seemed to be a nose, and smelling it. Taking long deep breaths. My cousin Amber must have been holding on to the blinds too hard. Because the entire blinds came down. Just then, this monster that looked like it was made out of weeds, stared at me and my cousin. Made a weird howl, then grabbed a huge handful of weeds and ran back into the woods. We cut all the lights off, ran upstairs and hid under my grandparents' bed. About an hour later, we heard the front door open. Finally, they're back, my cousin Amber said. But then we smelled something. Something awful. It smelled like someone was pulling weeds.